This week's episode of What a Con is brought to you by FanDuel. And hey, the NFL draft is right around the bend. It's here, actually, as a matter of fact. And the Jets, my New York Jets, got a hold of Omar Cooper Jr., stole him late from the Buffalo Bills. And right now on FanDuel, you can guess that Omar Cooper will get plus 575 and a half receiving yards this season. You can get that over minus 114 is the number. So I think that's kind of a safe bet. I think he'll complement Garrett Wilson real well, so he'll have a shot at getting those. You can get that right now on FanDuel at minus 114.
Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing 230 pounds,
the Van Dam fam.
Yeah, Van Dam.
Van Dam.
Van Dam. Yeah, what's up,
Hey.
guys? Hey, and Barbie's here, and the babies are
Get
here.
the babies. I'm doing a double feeding right now.
Yeah, and KT's here, KT Van
Hey,
Dam,
y'all.
KTVD,
Mm.
and welcome to One of a Kind with Rob Van Dam.
You feel me? Hey, we didn't even test the mic. I didn't know it's working.
Guys, tell us if the mic's working.
Oh, you can't read the comments.
I can't. Well, my idea is I'm gonna pull it up on my phone.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yay.
pull it up on my phone. Then we'll figure it out. But hello to everybody. I know Maddie's in the house. I know probably Jem the Don's in the house. And yes, the Van Dam fam is in the house. So
Yeah. Dom's in town for La WrestleMania.
that's correct. Yes.
So is just about every wrestling fan in the world, it seems like.
It was quite the weekend, huh?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Yeah, you were all over the place.
Yeah. Ready to get a little rest. I hear it in my voice. Couple of late nights and early mornings and long days.
How did you
It was cool.
when did you think you lost your voice? Was it last night?
I think Katie pointed it out. I think at WrestleCon yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
The plazas when I
Oh.
noticed.
Oh,
that's
really?
right. Yeah, at the Plaza viewing party on Saturday. That's when it started. My voice started going. But it's cool. I feel good. Just tired and ready to get my rest. How do these people do these everyday jobs?
I don't know. It's a rough sledding sometimes. But yeah, Rob's been all over. He wrestled a couple times, and he did a whole bunch of signings too. So I got to see you at JCW, you and Katie both, which was awesome. Such a fun thing. Katie was a special guest referee. She was very official.
Thank you.
She checked everybody's boots and equipment,
Mhm.
and then she got the match started and everything.
Yep.
And the titles changed hands with us too. At that.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you, Katie?
That was awesome. I love repping. And when I took the booking, Rob was like, "Are you sure? Repping is hard." And then I was like, "Yeah, I got this." And then I did a great job. So I was really proud that I tried something new and I really loved it.
So that's the first special guest ref thing you ever did.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. I loved having the authority.
Laying the hammer down.
Yeah.
And then it was right after is when Rob had his match. He teamed up with, oh my gosh, what am I blanking? Willie Mack and Too Tough Tony. And you took on the Good Brothers and Kenta.
Yes.
Yes. And the crowd was really into you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Kenta got a potatoed nose. I was showing you in slow-mo, frame by frame, how that happened, and that's always a bummer. But it wasn't, like rush off to the hospital, he's gonna die kind of thing. So I'm sure who knows? He's a wrestler. He could have had more matches. Could have had a match at 3 a.m, 4 a.m. after that one. I don't know. Yeah.
The setup was really neat for JCW. I thought how everything looked and everything. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, the crowd was very much into you. You guys went probably about what was it, like 14 minutes or something? I think it was something like that.
So.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. But yeah. But then you wrestled earlier that day too.
Yep. Little grandma. Their faces when they cry.
Oh, he looks really sad.
Yeah, it looks so sad. Yeah, so BTW was a wrestling promotion, and also named like the original Sheik, the only other official big time wrestling, and then there's that Bad Business Bobby's promotion. He calls his the same thing. They're not affiliated, and Kirk White ran big time wrestling in San Jose, California for a long time, and he was really cool. Like a lot of us wrestlers, we really liked him, bonded with him. Good dude, and he passed away like maybe it's been 2 years now. Time flies, and so his wife and daughter are keeping the promotion going, and they've talked to me several times about trying to work something out, and boom, here they are in my backyard. So it worked out, and they were awesome, and it was cool getting in there and having another warm up match or whatever. I'm 3 matches in now. That's more than I've had all last year.
How you feeling overall then after
Yeah.
physically and everything?
Yeah, good.
Good?
Yeah.
Yeah. You look good too. You hit that
Thanks,
5-star frog
dude.
splash, man. Yeah.
Yeah, the frog flashes were great.
Yeah.
Aw,
All right,
you
I'll say hi to some
guys.
folks here. We got Lady Nisa in the chat. We got Maddie. We have Juan Pablo 94, Candido fan. Welcome aboard. So plenty of folks in here. If you guys have a question, get it in here. I'm keeping my eyes peeled for anything like super chats or whatever questions may have been.
Today, Neon Dude, Facade, and Tara Zepp got married. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, Facade and Tara.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Yesterday, Matt Riddle and Misha.
Matt Riddle, Misha
Matt,
got
what?
married this-
Yeah.
Holy shit.
yeah, there was a couple weddings that were happening in town that we weren't able to make it to because of the busy schedule and shit.
Yeah.
People be taking advantage of the convenience of the easy weddings here.
Yeah, go get married by Elvis.
Yeah. Yeah. And back in the day when it used to be really hard to get divorced, Vegas was known for easy divorces too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they used to get pushback because that wasn't, the Christian way.
Mhm.
So it wasn't easy to do, and people used to come for that. Just like gambling, get a quickie divorce. Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that.
Now you do.
Now I do.
You
Now
can
I
take
do.
that to the bank. Yeah.
What also happened this weekend was the Sabu Memorial 2-day extravaganza. It was more the whole week kind of deal, but there was 2 days, sets of matches and everything. And man, that was pretty cool. And then they Joey Janelle unveiled the new bench that they have for Sabu, and that was really awesome. So pretty cool that we were able to honor him in that way and stuff.
What is? I saw the bench was like some metal chairs with the
Yeah.
ironwork or something. Is that something like sentimental? Like he used those chairs in a match or he sat in those.
That's a
chairs or
good
something?
question. I'm not sure. Yeah, but like, I thought it was really neat, kind of a way to do it and everything, and neat setup. I like how the nerd had that outside ring and everything there, so that was really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I doubt that he used those chairs, but you never know.
you never know.
The
Yeah,
Sabu bench that we sat on for the meet and greet was couch is the couch he always sat
he would
on.
always hang out there, right? Yeah, he would always hang out on that one.
True.
Yeah.
We I was talking to Facade and about him and Tara coming over to do today's podcast because they're in town too.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, and man, I don't know, that'd be 7 people on camera.
What a crew.
but
And
you're not
2
really,
dogs.
Yeah.
You're not really on camera though. But
No,
still,
you're off camera.
7 people figuring out how to sit, and my brain couldn't handle that.
We'd been like the Partridge
Sorry.
Family.
Yeah, like you said, I feel like I got jet lag even though I haven't flown.
I haven't flown yet. I already had jet lag this morning.
Every time I get a chance to sleep for a little bit, I go into a really deep sleep.
Do you? Yeah.
Even if it's only like an hour, and she she made me get up to go to WWE World today because I kept saying, I don't need to get up yet. I got time. And she's like, I'm not leaving until you get up.
It's like mom when you're heading to school. She's like, you know,
It worked.
Success, mission accomplished. Yeah. So talk about the Hall of Fame experience for you guys. Everybody getting inducted and kind of the whole vibe, because that was at the MGM Grand.
Yeah. It's always cool to see everybody and say hi to them, but it was way different. It was mellow, there wasn't it was a much smaller, intimate kind of feel to everything. Like even when we walked out there, like usually like follow SmackDown, so you got the huge arena and get the RVD and everyone's all happy. And this one, we walked out there and I was like, wow, there's just like a few sections, of people. And then it was weird too, as far as like there was some of the inductees, like Stephanie, it seemed like she went half hour, 40 minutes. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, long. I'm not saying too long. I'm just saying the way that it was, that she was up there and had like her part of the show. And then I was thinking, okay, I wonder if that's like how everybody's going to be this year. And then it was like, special thanks to Sid, special thanks to Bad News Brown. And then AJ Styles, come on out here. It felt like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also showed a lot of WWE special moment video packages that didn't seem to be tied in. Like it wasn't like necessarily like Hall of Fame. I mean, it's tied in as far as WrestleMania, I guess. It was just, it wasn't necessarily the inductees that were in the videos or whatever. And it was more like, like, okay, the next person is done. Boom, roll the 6 or 7 minute video. And it was that part of it was different, the way it was like formulated and so it felt different, but it was cool. I would say a lot more intimate. What do you think?
Yeah, there was a lot more talent there than usual. Like less fans, because normally they do it right after SmackDown, so all the SmackDown fans are there. So, like you said, the arena felt smaller, and then the talent thing felt bigger. Like there was a lot more family members there. Like, because we've been to Hall of Fames before, where it felt like there was like 20 legends, and that's it. Like sitting on the stage. This one was like, it seemed like a lot more WWE family was there. What else? We looked good. I'm mad I didn't take pictures with my camera.
Oh, really?
I had a purple jewels, a purple feather dress. He had a purple airbrush tie to
what? That's sweet.
coordinate.
Dang.
So we were looking fresh. We had a good time.
Did who took pictures of you guys? Just
there was
WB?
a red carpet.
So the red carpet.
See those pictures. So fans, if y'all see any pictures of us, tag me and Rob.
Yeah, tag them up.
So I can have proof for the night.
Yeah, do it to it. We got a super chat here, but it's not popping up on my phone, so I'll read that in a second. But I guess people were talking too about just WrestleMania in general, and like a lot of commercials people were complaining about. But
that's what I felt like. WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, yeah. But at the Hall of Fame, it felt like there was, like you were saying, like a lot of commercials. Not that there were like commercials necessarily.
Breaks, because there was a lot of breaks where we would just listen to music and watch highlight reels.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought overall, like people liked night 2 of WrestleMania. They weren't as big as fans of night 1, I heard. And so, but how about Brock Lesnar retiring? Did you see that?
I did. And I saw something that said that was. Well, they showed that he did the X to Paul first, and then and then they said that most likely they think that was something that was nobody knew he was going to do.
Wow, really?
I mean, it was just like somebody that had a little clip, and everybody's a journalist according to the First Amendment, but,
right? Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that's true, but it was interesting because we missed the Brock match. We got there after that.
Oh, okay.
And it said, did you guys catch this or miss it? It might have been a YouTube video. And he does that to Paul before he sits and takes his boots off. And they're saying that when you do that, you know,
Means
breaks kayfabe and says it's real now. Like, you know, like they related that to him saying, this is a shoot. I'm done.
wow. Because I saw him do the X too, and I was like wondering if that meant like because they throw up the X when somebody's hurt typically,
Right.
and so I was like, oh, is that what does he mean by that exactly? So interesting. Wow.
Yeah, look at Salva. She's starting to like hug. Like she's starting to notice this morning. She just had her arm around me, like giving me a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They got grips too. Like
they hold on to you.
They got like nails too. And
Dig 'em in.
They do. They do.
Dig them on in.
But I had said that I thought Oba was gonna win so that you know they could have an angle and Brock could. I didn't think Brock was gonna leave. I thought Brock was gonna put him over so he could build him and have somebody credible to work with.
Well, so there's some speculation since SummerSlam's in Minneapolis, and that's where Brock's from. The story going into this was Gunther told Paul that he owes him a favor still, and what the favor might be. This is all speculation, but what the favor might be is that Gunther demands that Brock comes back for one more match, and then he has his retirement match at SummerSlam against Gunther in his kind of hometown, quote unquote.
Cool.
So that might be something to think about.
It's cool.
Don't know how accurate.
They're doing a wrestle kind of SummerSlam too.
Yeah. Yep. So
I'll be in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna aim to be too. I've never been to Minneapolis. Do you like Minneapolis?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's where home of Jerry Lynn.
That's true, right? The AWA. It's a backyard AWA too. So
it's the part of the country I'm from, you know, Midwest, and just across the Great Lakes. So, you know, I'd rather go in the right season. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. Wouldn't want to be there in the wintertime.
Target Center is what we used to do in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's still called that too.
Had some relatives there. My mom's sister, my Aunt Bev, lived there until recently when she passed. Cousin Mike is still there.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good. All right.
Next up for FanDuel, Fernando Mendoza. Talk of the NFL draft. Wasn't in Pittsburgh for it, but his presence was sure felt, going number 1 overall. You can get him at FanDuel at 14.5 passing touchdowns. That's a plus 112 is for the over and minus 148 for the under.
Fellas, you already know what time it is. It's time to level up, and Blue Chew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking next level, championship belt, gold-plated energy. One of a kind, if you will. Blue Chew Gold is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. No. This is the 4-in-1 beast that's setting the gold standard for performance. We're talking 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in your brain and body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works just as little in 15 minutes. That means you can get it on quicker and stay in the game longer. Elevation without hesitation. This is peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet. And we at RVD got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code RVD. That's promo code RVD. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And hey, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Sweet. Well, can you chat? Let me know if you can hear Rob, because one says they can't hear you, but I want to make sure that they can. Sounds like we got you on 2 mics basically, so we should be all right. Let's see. I enjoyed my weekend, Gem the Dawn. It's been fun so far.
You gotta grab my finger. No. You enjoy Gem the Dawn?
I did. I enjoyed Gem the Dawn. I did. He says, ask Rob about his Apple story getting pulled over.
You know okay, Jim the Don was at the plaza. That's why.
Oh.
We talked about that story at the plaza.
What story? Okay, tell the story. What is this?
So somebody in the crowd, oh, you got daddy's finger. Look at you, it's so strong. someone in the crowd asked, "Do you get if you get pulled over? Do you get away with it because you're RVD, or do you get busted?"
Okay.
And I said, I got so many stories of getting away with shit, getting special treatment. You know, I'm grateful because I know not everybody would get that, but I was talking about one time when I was with TNA in Georgia. This story came to mind. There was girls at the arena that were from Mellow Mushroom Pizza.
Yes.
Mellow Mushroom Pizza. And they were there. I don't know what they were there doing, working, like promoting something. And then all the boys ended up going there afterwards. And we were hanging there for a while, partying, whatever. I was driving by myself. And afterwards, it was kind of late, but I think I was even maybe trying not to get a hotel, so staying there and then driving back to the airport where I'd only have to kill a couple hours.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't see the fucking exit, and the GPS showed it. It said I must have just passed this. Like, what the fuck? And I turned around again, and I didn't see it again. And I pulled over. And I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, blue and red lights. And I had an apple that I had made a pipe out of. This was back in the fake weed days when it wasn't even worth traveling with weed and getting busted when you could go to the store and buy the fake weed, which was spice. It was known as.
Is that what it called?
Yeah. It was prepackaged professionally, so you could get consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the ones that I liked was called Mr. Nice Guy. And it was in this certain package with a smiley face. And I knew, no matter where I'm at, if I'm in Florida or wherever, that and it wasn't weed. So there's that too, as far as the legalities of it. But it got you high, and a lot of it was not as controlled. And so people, sometimes you get something that's like way too strong. Happened to me one time. It was called Devil's Advocate. Different story. But for like a year and a half or so, it didn't feel as healthy as the plant, when I was smoking it. But it felt like, worth giving up that little bit of that for the convenience and legalities. Anyway, couple U-turns, cop pulls me over, and my apple's sitting there. And it's a bowl. I mean, you stick a pen through it, and you stick a pen through it, connect the holes, and go, and you blow it clear.
Yes,
and then you can pack it. You guys know.
I even kind of know
I
that.
spit in your face.
Because you're not cool.
And anyway, so the cop was coming. I was like, fuck, like, what a stupid thing to get busted. I'm sitting right there in the center console. So I got, like, Mike took a bite out of it, and I'm like, yeah, I just threw it in the center console. And he comes up, and he's license registration, yeah, whatever, dude. I gave it to him, and I'm looking for this exit, but I don't see it. But my GPS says that it's here somewhere, but I don't fucking see it, and it's a dark road. And he's like, yeah, whatever. He goes back to his car, and I'm wondering, like, am I gonna get in trouble? Like, what, fuck, what's gonna happen? He's gonna write me a ticket. Is he gonna make a big deal about the fucking chewed up apple that's spit all over the whatever and ashes and whatever? And then when he came back up, he said, I'm sitting back there in the car, and I'm like, I can't give this guy a ticket. I just watched his movie. And I was like, sweet.
Yes, you did.
And he's like, yeah, you had your daughter. She was kidnapped. Wrong side of town. Yes, that's playing this week. Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
That's the story that I told. But obviously, there's a lot of stories, and I didn't, even sometimes I would get a ticket, but it's like, fuck it, pay the ticket, and it disappeared. So I never thought it was a huge deal ever. until I had the championship belts and didn't realize it was a big deal until it was too late.
Yeah, yeah. Dang it. Well, no, that's how often too does it like when you have those kind of interactions with police, and we talked about some of what you watching those police videos and how people handle themselves and what you can kind of get away with at certain points. When a cop does typically approach you and stuff like that, how do you handle yourself?
I don't give them any information that I don't have to, because they're just asking you questions to get info to use against you.
Right, right.
That's totally what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if they say, how you doing tonight? I might answer that.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing all right, and then they, hey, where you coming from? We got last time a cop asked me that. He said, where you coming from?
Where you going?
Oh yeah, he said, where you going? That way. He said, where you coming from? I was like, that way. like seriously? That's your next question? Like, what do you think I'm gonna say?
Yeah.
And he wasn't mad, it's not being disrespectful. If nothing else, if they say, where you coming from tonight? You can just say, no offense, officer, but I don't feel like sharing my day with you.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you pulled me over? And you see so many videos of people say, oh my God, I am so sorry. I didn't realize, you know what? I'm hurrying home because you're just fucking burying yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And the cop thinks you're an asshole anyway.
Yeah.
Then they think like, look at this easy fucking mark. Like they're making this so easy for me. Oh yeah, your taillight too was out. Yeah, and and they just start fighting shit.
And then people self-snitch and say, I was drinking at dinner.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, if they say,
have
you been drinking, just don't say I don't always answer that question, or just lie and say no, but you don't say I had 2 drinks, officer, because then they automatically assume you're lying.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they say, well, if he admits to 2, that probably really means more. Step out of the car and let me give you this bullshit test, which I told you. They'll be like, follow my finger, and then, but not your head. Don't let your head move. And they'll wrap it around your fucking head. Like, why are your eyes moving? You're shaking. Yeah. Definitely a sign eyes were shaking. It's so stupid.
Oh shit.
It's like, my eyes don't go that far, asshole. Like, it's ridiculous, because if you follow it a couple times, that's not the result they want. So then they'll go, way, yeah,
got you.
Stupid. And by the way, if anybody watching thinks that the cop isn't the bad guy, or prospectively, meaning out to get you, the cop is the boogeyman. If you don't think so, what do you do when you're driving down the road and then you see a cop has somebody pulled over? You hit your fucking brakes. Everybody does. And I don't, unless I'm speeding.
Yeah, yeah.
So everyone has to slow down to 15 miles an hour, either because they're bootlickers and they, I'm doing this for officer safety.
You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah. Or they have that guilt inside of them. Like, oh, there's a cop. Which means if you have that, if you're like, oh shit, I better slow down, then that means that you look at yourself as a criminal,
Mm-hmm.
Like the cop makes you feel like you're guilty of a crime. And so that's why you're like, oh shit, I better be on my best behavior. There's a cop right there. That's, you deny that.
Right. And that's the thing too, you guys were mentioning too, like how like you're almost people tend to overshare and say like what they were doing. And not only does the cop already be like, okay, this one's like going to be a mark, or number 2, they're putting on a big act. So I fucking know I can read through that too.
And then they're, you know what? I think I smell weed too.
Yeah. I only had a little bit. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. My brother had the car last night. Maybe he smoked in it. Whatever. Just like, self-snitching.
How old was that apple when you bit into it? Was it like a super old apple?
No,
okay.
No, I would get daily fresh apples.
Do you recommend a certain type of apple?
I used to when I was with TNA in Orlando, I would fly from LA to Orlando, and at the Orlando airport, I would go to Quiznos because they had the apples for sale.
They had apples,
Yeah.
Quidnos.
and I would get an apple there at fucking 7 in the morning after taking a red eye, and then go to the hotel because the head shop pipe store wasn't open yet. It's that early, but you had to sleep for a few hours, and then on my way to Universal, I would stop at that cigar store. Yeah. Oh, let me get a Mr. Nice Guy, please. And I'd already had the apple and everything, and then I spent 3 years working for them at Universal, sitting out in my car, hitting my apple, listening to Howard Stern.
Hell yeah.
Those are my Howard Stern years. I had after a while, I couldn't. I had enough of them. You know what I mean? Just FYI, I don't want anyone saying, "Oh, dude, you're a fellow Stern fan." No,
Whack-pack.
I mean there was a lot he did.
He's disrespectful to women a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I personally ain't that entertained by throwing baloney in a girl's ass, you know. And I get, but what was fascinating was he was getting paid more than
Anybody.
God,
Yeah.
and the highest ratings, and I did like his interviews, and anyway, during that time, I had just discovered Sirius Radio and would rent the cars that had the free trial with that every week.
Yeah.
And that's what I did during TNA.
Well, how about that? I know Howard Stern, like back in the day, I remember like being late 90s and stuff. Well, 2000 more so. They would always have his program on E, and I would tune in and watch some of that stuff. But yeah, some of the shit he would do would just be insane.
And he was so obsessed with men's penises.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Every guy that was on there is like, let me see your cock. Just pull it out.
Hey,
Do
what's
you
it
have
like?
a big cock? Yeah, I don't have a big cock. Do you have a big cock? Let me see it. Like everybody. Yeah. That kind of.
And it's so funny how he's tried to clean up his image since then, you know? Like
I don't know that much about it.
okay, he's just completely whitewashed all his past stuff. And now he does like these just cupcake interviews and everything.
Wow.
And it's just like, Howard, we know what you were about.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Probably
That's the
cancel
reason.
culture.
It was
In the
definitely
90s,
that.
There was what bullying and other things was more acceptable than it is now.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, definitely that different kind of thing going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he was like the original shock jock.
Yeah, right now you get canceled.
Yeah, he definitely again. If they
Mm.
dug up all that stuff, if they wanted to and dug up all that stuff, like he could definitely feel that for sure.
Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Some of the things he would do with strippers on there, or have them do, or whatever, might be illegal now.
Oh my God, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, right. And or like
Interesting.
some of the people that he'd have on there, like mentally challenged and everything too. He'd have people like that on there.
Yeah.
Definitely can't be doing that. Here, let me go up there, take a look at some super chats.
True.
Let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Frankie Trezo always asks the good questions. I'll pop it up. How many times, Rob, have you seen Half Baked? Everyone. Have you seen the movie Half Baked?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, man.
Hey, man.
Maybe half a dozen.
Half a dozen.
Maybe.
That's a great movie. What's Bob Saget doing that?
And I think he plays Bob Saget.
Doesn't he say, I'll smoke your car or I'll suck your.
If
Yeah.
you ever seen him do stand up, by the way, like he's like so opposite
Oh.
Full House.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But the other guy that was Grandma's boy, Dante. Like, I see him at signings and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wasn't he in that bit? I think he was. I don't
He
know.
might have been. It's been years since I've seen that movie.
So, yeah, I mean, that movie is 30 years old.
That's
It's
crazy. Chappelle, Jim
almost
Brewer.
as old as my wrestling career.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? So, yes, we have seen Half Baked, Frankie. I should have stayed up there for more super chats.
Mhm.
We got another one here.
Great idea.
Oh, we got a baby holder.
We got a baby holder.
Wow, man. You're so
Um,
sweet, Bubba.
Maddie says, I love
so sweet.
Pop Tarts, Triple E, and I hope Dom has a hit with RVD. Rob offered me a hit last night, and he's like, you don't want one, do you? And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I would
we
have
did
one.
at the Nerd Bar. We did a midnight toast to 420 to bring in
Whoa,
the new day,
the new Rob Van Dam year.
April 20th. Yes, it was Johnny's idea, and but it was cool because they handed out pre-rolls to all the VIPs.
What?
Outside of the Sabu mural.
Yeah, which it looks amazing. by the way.
Mural.
Mural.
And and so like, even though we didn't have, like they always want me to hit, fans always want me to hit their doobie or their pen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
and I do a lot, but also it's a lot of unnecessary germ spreading, but I know it means a lot. So usually that's why. Sometimes it's because I was like, yeah, I will hit that. But this one, like everyone we all got to smoke at the same time. And it was, and there was fans that were there that weren't even smoking that, in the mix, but it was a pretty cool thing to do. I think it was, people remember that.
That's a neat idea. That's a really neat
Yeah,
idea.
they were really happy about it.
Johnny's been great this whole week about everything.
With Dante,
Johnny's awesome.
the guy I was talking about, Grandma's Boy. You know that video game? He plays video games. Grandma's Boy. They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That dude. When we did the 420 Expo in New Jersey, and Tommy Chong was Tommy there the first year. Anyway, we all did shit like that where fans could do like a VIP thing. It was a lot more private, like just a few. But we could go off and smoke with us or whatever.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
that's really
bucket
good.
list shit.
Yeah, knock it off. I know. There was a couple fans at the Nerd. They were like, "Oh, I want to go smoke with Rob." I was like, "You can ask him, see what he says," and like that kind of thing. So
they always ask me when I'm like super busy, when I'm at the table, with the big line, like, what are the chances, that we will smoke one together? And they'll show me they got one, and I usually say, spark it up if you got the balls.
Yeah, go for it if you want to try it out.
Go out in the parking lot right now.
You can't do it.
Kind of busy.
Get a little busy. All right, here is, let's see if I can read this one. Steve Soleil, shout out to you. Happy 420 RVD. I got a concussion. Question: my stepdaughter hit her head and has a burning sensation in the front of her head and now pressure in her head. Is that a concussion? Pupils seem fine.
Get it checked out. Yeah, I would say get a doctor's.
Not people going to Rob for medical advice.
Yeah. Right. Concussions are temperamental, like very temperamental. Like I don't know anything about them to that extent either, but I would say definitely get her checked out.
For me, I've been quoted as saying that I've had hundreds of concussions in my career. I said that on Headstrong, my documentary. Those are self-diagnosed. I hadn't gone to the doctor, and hundreds of times with concussions. Matter of fact, that's happened almost, maybe 3 times, maybe, and I can only think of like 2. But anyway, for me, it's if my bell is rung and my perception is altered, then I just consider that a concussion, and that's via conversations with Chris Nowinski. He said, you should just assume it's a concussion unless you're told otherwise. And so for me, when I say my bell is rung, sometimes shit's in slow motion. Sometimes I see like little speckles of light or something. Sometimes the sound goes out. There's different effects that I would consider my bell is rung when I get hit in the head. And then I in my opinion, concussed. But if a doctor wanted to argue that with me, then, we'd have that conversation. Again, I'm not a doctor, so you should see a doctor.
Definitely see a doctor on it. Yeah. I got a concussion in high school, I remember, and it was bad. It was not good. So yeah, definitely get it checked out, I would say. Maddie asked you this, Rob. What do you think about the low attendance numbers for WrestleMania? And would you go to Saudi next year if they asked you to?
It's not about if they asked me to. It'd be like if I got paid
if you got
enough,
paid,
would I do it? And of course, if I got paid enough, I would do anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's better when there's more people. So it's overall the whole weekend had a little slower, more mellow feel. We had more time to talk to other wrestlers at WrestleCon, which usually we don't. Usually we're too busy, and it was slow. I was going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then ended up not even going Sunday, so I wouldn't stick my agent with having to pay me and losing money because it was that slow.
Really? I didn't. Yeah. I was wondering because I was like, I thought he was going to be here on Sunday.
Yeah.
We're
ahead of time. We talked about it, and he said, if it's slow and I'm not going to make money, maybe let me off the hook for Sunday. And we talked it out. And so everywhere, although went for the JCW show, that started at midnight. Walking towards it, there was like the biggest line leaving the GWC show that was right before it.
Right, yeah.
And then going in, yeah,
GCW.
GCW. Okay, that one, they looked like they had a lot of people there because so many people were leaving, and it took several minutes walking through the casino by all these wrestling fans, and then when I got to the back of the line going in, that was a decent amount of people too. Like, I think out of most of the things that I went to, it seems like maybe that was the most feel of like, wow, man, this is a really good turnout. Everywhere else was kind of like, okay, it's a little light this year.
Yeah, a little bit. I will say for the JCW show, I think they were the second highest indie show this whole weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
JCW
was. So what you guys did.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know it was at least the second highest, I think, of all the indie shows. And I tell you what, like, it was cool. It was neat to see everybody, like a hodgepodge of talents in there, like from you guys in there, but then you have some like newer, like what is they called? The affected, what's that? The zombies.
Yeah.
They were really good, right?
I saw them getting into the ring, and I was like, wow, like the way they were, like, I don't even know what they were doing. They weren't like climbing the ropes. They were almost like slithering through.
Yeah.
And it was captivating. I saw on the monitor, and I was just like, these motherfuckers are like
committed.
for real.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought. They are committed. They are zombies. Look at them.
And then
Everything they do, yeah.
Yeah.
And the person that came out with him on the mic was really good.
Yeah. He's a really good manager and stuff like
He
that.
was a great manager.
He was a really good
I love
manager.
that
Mhm.
When we had Vince on the show, he was talking about how they had so many characters to work with and how he really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So
They did a great job. It was cool to see them kind of in the forefront on this, and I think they were a big takeaway from this weekend. I thought of it out of WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When I saw them go out there, I was walking back from the bathroom, so I got to see it like from the crowd perspective, and I was like, wow, this is a good show.
Yeah. And Nick Nemeth, he did the Juggalo face paint when he came out. Yep, which I thought was really cool, and so it was really, really neat. Who was rewarding to see this weekend that you were happy to see, like that you haven't seen in a while, maybe?
Rewarding to see?
Yeah.
J-Rod.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's great.
Spike Dudley was there. He doesn't do a lot of these.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
friend of the show, he was on.
Yeah.
He's on.
Yeah. This thought just hit me in the head, so I just want to like split into the show and say that you were talking before about those cop videos that I watched. And stuff, right?
Yeah.
You saw CM Punk slap the camera out of someone's hand?
I heard about it. I didn't watch it. So okay.
You saw that? You guys saw that? I don't know what happened, but it looked like Phil didn't like that the guy was filming either him or maybe his wife or something.
His family was there at WrestleMania too.
But I kept reading, but in the comments, I can't believe how many people are still, like, well, any reasonable man would have done the same thing. And you could see he had the camera on his wife. So what? So fucking what? That's assault. And I watch those videos all the time. Look up FAPA, First Amendment Protection Agency. This guy stands outside the dispensaries, and he's not a pot hater. He even smokes, but he stands out there on the public property on the sidewalk and films, and people get so worked up they want to fight him.
Wow.
What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, we're gonna fucking smack you, and they get so triggered and so angry. And then, if they're too aggressive, he pepper sprays them, and those are very entertaining.
Wow.
It eats their eyeballs, and they're not so tough anymore. But it's weird that they hey, that's a federal offense. You do not have my permission or consent. You don't need it. You get filmed all day when you're in public. There's so many fucking cameras on, and you don't even know it. And just because someone has a camera on you or anything, you can film anything that your eyes can see in public.
See, that's crazy to think that. Like, yeah, I wouldn't even, because I didn't know the ins and outs of all those rules.
It's amazing how many people think that they know, but they're completely wrong. And they come out with that shit. That is a federal crime, sir. I'm going to call the police. You're going to go to jail. And there's where do they get that from?
Yeah. Because too, I mean, if you have security cameras up there filming,
of course,
and
dude, you're filmed. I mean, depending on where if you're in the city or country or whatever, but you're probably filmed. Like if you went to WrestleMania, you probably filmed 1,000 times.
And you don't sign a waiver for it either, So it's like you're just
anything my eyes can see in public, I can film, and you can't trespass my eyes. If I'm in public and I can see it, then I can film it. That was the thing about the we just brought up the was it Bette Midler? No, the clause about
Barbara Streisand.
Thank you. Yeah. Her private house was being filmed, and she wanted to sue because somebody showed where she lived, and she didn't want that. But they were in public, so there was nothing wrong or nothing illegal. There was no lawsuit, no punishment, no nothing warranted. And then by her trying to sue, it drew so much more attention that everybody knew where she lived then because of the picture. But even I mean, you can't go up to somebody's window if you're standing in their front yard and film them in their bed. And also there is a couple things about public. You can't film in bathrooms.
Yeah, right. Bathrooms, that makes plenty of sense.
But even like cars, people think that they have privacy in cars. No, they don't. That's why a cop, can look and see if it's called the Bain Act. And if he sees something sticking out or whatever, that's the first level of a search. And that's because it's completely legal for us or him. If he sees it, if it's out, it's up to the person that wants to hit their stuff to not be seen to protect it and to hide it. And if they have windows, that's what a window is for.
Right.
But if they want to put tint paper in or cover it up so you can't see into their business or whatever, then that is on them. And they always call the cops. And once in a while, a cop won't know. Mm-hmm. And they're stupid. And then they're like, get your supervisor. And the supervisor comes out and tells them, you don't have a law broken here. Well, what about he didn't give me his ID? He doesn't have to show you ID. He wasn't breaking the law.
Yeah. What now? So those are the rules. Do you think the rules should be changed, though, or are you okay with them?
Fuck no. I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with it. People resort to violence way too much. I think at this stage in life, after being sued by fucking G Douche.
Oh yeah.
Trying to destroy my life. After
you're so aggressive, Rob.
Yeah. Right. But that helped, along with some other things too, for my perspective to change. And when I see that now, when someone's first instinct is, "Oh yeah, well come here then, you're a fucking pussy." It's so, it's primal that it's like a Neanderthal. It's like, bro, you just went back to being a caveman. People always told me, and now I feel like saying, grow the fuck up. That shit ain't cool anymore. And you don't want to fight this guy because he's got a gun anyway.
Yeah, you don't know, right?
Everyone's got a gun.
Yeah, you don't fucking know.
It's stupid. You don't go around, you shouldn't. In my opinion, go around like we could 30 years ago. That was different times.
Right. Oh my gosh. No, that's crazy to think about that. Being in public and you being a public figure like that.
So I don't know what happened with Phil, but I disagree with so many of the comments, but not just me. There was other people that know what I know.
Yeah, that knows your rights.
What the fuck are you talking about? Because they were like, he was clearly trying to film his wife. Now that's just not cool. And and it's like, dude, what the fuck? They're celebrities. They're in public. They're surprised that someone's gonna, and so there was enough of both sides, to
kind of weigh it in a little bit.
I can't believe that many people would weigh in on that side and say, I would have done the same damn thing, under the assumption that all it was someone filming his wife. That's what they were assuming.
Yeah.
There's probably much more to it.
Maybe they put hands on her or something too. Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows what they said too?
Right.
And that could trigger you too. It's like somebody says something really bad. Let's see. Okay. Maddie says, oh no, that's another. Let's see if we got more super chats here. Oh, we do got a super chat. Chief Soleil follows up. He says, my wife asked, what can you do for a concussion? And I was like, fuck, I don't know. I'll ask RVD. LOL. Hope you have a great 420, bro. National RVD Day.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
It is.
And he can't even
Yeah,
smoke
thank you.
during the podcast because we got the kids.
Do you want to reveal how much you smoked today, Rob?
What was that I got?
Today's podcast. I'll let you answer.
Well, he knows because I just showed him.
Yeah.
I still got half a doobie left. I've got. That's how busy I've been. I smoked half a doobie, and the other half's in an ashtray out there because of the babies. And so yeah, I haven't really been smoking all day, but that's cool. We still got time.
Yeah, you got work. You got some work to do. That's all right. A little catching up.
If anyone is tuned in, hoping to smoke with me, we'd have to. Got to do it at the end. I
could leave the kids.
I gotta kick the females out.
Look at them. They're enjoying dinner right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What to do about a concussion? What did it do?
So when I in 2016, I got whacked in the head. It gave me double vision, and most of my concussions went away in a few seconds. Very few lasted overnight or even hours. I mean, probably 5 or less ever. This one with double vision, it didn't go away, and I felt fine, but I could see 2 of everything, and it stayed with me for fucking forever. It was like months and months, and I ended up besides seeing the neurologist and the MRIs, the CT scans, and all that. I did vision therapy, and that's what actually helped. That and time. But I would go. I can't remember 3 or 4 times a week and do all kinds of interesting little things that I never would have thought of. To train my eyes. And they kept telling me, I'd say, am I going to get better? And they'd say, yeah, and I was seeing a little improvement, but I was, am I going to be 100%? And they would just say, yeah, I think so. And I'd say, when? I mean, they'd go, I don't know. But I mean, like weeks or like years, they'd be like, I don't know. They do the RVD, shrug their shoulders. And I realized that the studies really weren't that vast, even like what Chris Nowinski did with the Concussion Legacy Foundation and everything that he built, and the attention that is giving to the problem of concussion is like so much more than we had.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he just added another football team to the NFL.
Right.
It's more like he made us all aware of this concern that we didn't even know about. And so studies are still like really fucking new and stuff. What I did was I did everything wrong. I thought I needed to stimulate my brain. And so like I took something that was like an Adderall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Something I found in the cabinet. It was either Adderall or Adipex. But and I tried to stay up. I tried to read, and I found out that what I was supposed to do was deplete my brain of stimulation and go somewhere where it's dark and turn the lights and TV off and just chill and let my brain relax. And that's what you do when you have a concussion, so that your brain can heal. Now, they do get scared and sometimes and say, don't sleep.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
About falling asleep. They tell you not to fall asleep, or they used to.
Yeah, I really don't know. Alexa, is it okay to fall asleep if you have a concussion? I don't know what she's going to say about that.
It's generally safe to sleep with a concussion, but you should be monitored. If you can carry on a conversation, walk without difficulty, and your pupils aren't dilated, it's usually okay to rest. However, if you have concerning symptoms, it's best to see a healthcare provider first.
I would still recommend Steve to get your daughter checked out, just because she's young too. You don't want You don't want anything to happen.
Eating her hand.
Look at that baby. But yeah, it'd be neat to get Chris on here at some point or as a guest.
Yeah.
He'd be really cool. We got to wrap up pretty soon because I gotta fly out of here.
Oh yeah, you do.
Gem the Dawn says, I can't read, my contacts suck. Thanks, Rob and Katie. You guys have always been great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jem.
You're great.
I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you, Jem, this weekend too. I did get to meet some fans. Shout out to Montez, who was there last night. He says he's a big fan of the podcast. He's from Philly and was tuning in, and so it was nice to meet him. Precious 90. Oh, Precious Roy HSN. Happy 420. Rob, any thoughts on finally wrestling Kenta? He is one of my all-time favorites, but I haven't seen the match yet.
We didn't get to do a whole lot. And we one of the first, maybe the first actually thing might have been I think it was, but we both tried to attack each other at the same time, and I was punching him at the same time he was trying to knee me in the stomach, and I ended up breaking his nose, and that threw everything off because I wasn't sure how bad he was. My immediate thoughts were trying to determine, for the sake of what do we have to work with now? Like, are you able to stand? Can you answer me? Like shit. That sucked. And then I didn't, like whatever I thought I was gonna do afterwards, I just threw away and was like, okay. I just went into trying to save the match or whatever. He came right around more than I expected him to, and then we didn't get to do a whole lot. So I was told that was a moment when we faced off at first that not everybody, but the certain people were looking forward to seeing. And then it was like pretty much right after that, like he mocked me. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. And then after that, it was like a lot of blood.
Yeah, a lot of blood. Yeah, it would have been neat to see you guys really go at it a little bit more. I know people do
I thought Kenta Kobashi used to be a lot bigger.
Yeah. It's GTS Kenta. Let's see.
She keeps talking when you're talking.
What are you talking about?
Chatting away. She's chatting away.
She's smiling. You got daddy's dimples.
King. What does he say? King Sir Victor says, I'm so stoned I forgot it was 420 day.
Katie heard something that I thought was a pretty good, memorable quote. They said, you can't smoke all day if you don't start in the morning.
That's true.
That.
Someone said it at the signing today at WWE World.
Yes.
Maddie asked, did you see Danhausen?
We knew the midgets. They were the.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
We did see that part where they came out and the sound wasn't on, so I don't know. Cena was putting them over laughing, like he was, whatever he was doing was either really hilarious or maybe just sounds like a really good actor, which is also true.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were talking about, but I saw smoke go up, and obviously he said, you can't see me, and smoke went up, and then he like ran out and hid or something, and I saw that.
Yeah. Okay, cool, sweet. Did you get to hang at chat with John at all?
Not at all.
Not at all? Yeah.
No.
He seemed like he was pretty busy. He was hosting WrestleMania, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And at WrestleMania too, it was like really different, like instead of having like a press box or skybox or some kind of gimmick with all the family and friends and you see everybody, instead they said they don't have that, and there's a monitor and catering, and like there was like no family in there, right? Like,
No
Wow.
family. Maybe they were just not letting people in. Families had to watch from home.
or they just kayfabed us. And
Well, I know they changed some, like if you were granted tickets, like if you had people you knew like that worked for WWE, they don't grant you tickets too much anymore. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you know,
I've always heard over the last several years that comps are like non-existent.
they're non-existent. I used to get comps sometimes.
So we didn't really see a lot of the people. Like we made an effort and walked all the way around and shit, but without going actually into the dressing rooms, the hallways that you used to walk around were almost empty.
Wow.
During WrestleMania, and I
Yeah.
think it's just because they were that organized.
It was like, what if it was like a small dressing room? Everyone would be there.
Hold on, something going on. What's happening here? Why is the show starting? Hold on, you guys. We got to close up pretty soon, anyways. What is going on? Oh my God, how many windows do I have? I hope everybody's enjoying this. 1 second. All right, it's this one. No, it isn't.
You want to go to Daddy's hand
Shoot.
too?
There it is. Come on.
You got grip too.
There, I got it.
You both have grips. Look at you.
All right. Anything else you guys want to cover before we close out?
Yeah, little RVDology.
Ooh.
I get a lot of people telling me that they really appreciate that, and I love it when people say that I've helped them either just look at things different, which is always my goal, or maybe even apply something to their lives. And we, so Tara and Neon Dude got married today, and Facade. I call him Neon Dude. Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about relationships because, we mentioned before that I come across as being fulfilled.
Right.
And a big part of that, obviously, is having the right partner. I get my support from having the right partner. That's my priorities. You have to know your own priorities. And for a lot of people, let's say a lot of guys, their wife isn't going to be the most important thing to them. Maybe it's down the list a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe their job, maybe hanging out with the guys, whatever. For me, I love that Katie knows for a fact that a million times I'd rather be hanging out with her than with any of my guy friends.
Yeah, right.
And I always I'm always able to be completely open and honest with her. And I wouldn't want a relationship to be based on anything other than the real unfiltered me, because knowing that she knows my weaknesses, my flaws, my everything, and knowing that that she's committed to that and she loves me the way that she does, that's something that, like, if you're not giving your partner, they got to get it somewhere else. You know what I mean? And maybe their ego was enough for them to just be like, oh, I'm a good looking person, and look in the mirror. I always think that's weird when guys do that, but that's just because I don't have that in me.
Mm-hmm.
I get it when girls look at themselves and I feel cute today. I would never look at me in the mirror and say I feel cute.
Feeling cute today. RVD feeling cute today.
I don't have those thoughts, I'm like, God, I'm a dude, I got hair on my fucking body. I gotta shave off because it's gross, and for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys are more in touch with their feminine side and they can do that. But then, they have their subjective feelings about themselves. And then that's the whole circulation of their support. And then outside support isn't even factored in. So now you got to find somebody else that either agrees with you that you're the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or you're gonna be lonely, or you're gonna be looking, or whatever. One thing that I want to mention, I know a lot of people can relate to this. I think, and this is just the way I see it, but I think if your partner has, if your partner asks you to filter yourself, then it's like, it's almost like, well, you're not quite perfect. Let me try and change you a little bit. For instance, like I love looking at females. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's a brain chemistry thing. She gets it. So many guys that I know would get in a fight if they were with their wife or girlfriend, and if they were like, damn, I don't have that. I'm not bragging about that, and I'm not trying to say leave your spouse immediately. But what I'm saying is, there's a big difference between like she will point it out half the time before I will. Like she'll say, look at that, look at the driver in the car next to us. I look over and I'm like, damn, could she be our nanny? And and we laugh or whatever. Like, wow, she's hot. There's a big difference between that and like if dude like looks over and then she says, I knew you were gonna notice it sooner or later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had that before.
Yeah.
That was horrible. And it was literally like asking me to not be myself. And I'd be like, what is wrong with me just noticing? Okay, I get you don't want me to say anything. You don't want me to do rubberneck. But if I just look in that direction, like you want to ban me from that?
Yeah, wow.
You don't want me to even and a lot of dudes can relate to that, but I just appreciate that I don't have to deal with any of that bullshit. That's part of being fulfilled is that that I can be my complete self because I don't want to lie. I fucking hate lying.
Right.
And when you lie, then you got to lie to cover it up, and then you got to keep a lie, and then everything's based on dishonesty. And again, everyone's got their own priorities. A lot of people don't mind lying. They lie their whole fucking life, and that's fine with them and carry on. But as far as just me sharing my perspective, maybe that'd be helpful for some people to hear because I appreciate the hell out of that I don't have to tiptoe around her and be afraid I'm gonna offend her if I say the wrong thing or like I said, she knows my flaws too. I could say something that could be the wrong thing to say, but then even if she'll even ask and like there's never like it's not she might even I might say something and she'll be like, what do you mean by that? And it's not all like oh
hey,
I'm being put on the spot. I will explain what I meant,
Yeah.
I'll just be completely honest, put it into words and say, well, I knew you were gonna grab that, so I didn't know if you were gonna grab that too. And she's like, oh, okay. And she expects that what I'm gonna say is not gonna be nefarious or ill-intended. And that is the opposite of what a lot of people have, unfortunately, because I don't think that's that healthy, but that's me and the way that I want to live.
Yeah. Communication and understanding for one another is what makes it great.
Yeah.
And elevates it. Well, cool. This has been awesome. I'm glad we got to do it at the RVD pad.
Yeah, man.
At the Smoke Shack.
Yeah.
Smoke Shack.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thanks, Van Dam fam.
Yes. We'll see you guys next time.
We're going to play with our babies.
Play with the babies and have a happy 420, everybody.
Happy 420.
Seth, thank you. Shout out. He gave us $20.
Whoa.
Seth, it's good to see you, man. Let's see here.
Thought we were going to see you this week, Seth.
Yeah. He says,
so.
Happy 420, Van Dam fam.
Yes.
He says, I got the bubblegum diesel, and I hope you guys enjoyed Mania Weekend.
I'm going to spark up. I'm going to spark up right after this show. You guys do the same. We'll be smoking together.
Do the same. We'll see you guys next time here on One of a Kind with RVD. I got to catch a flight.
One of a kind.
Woo!